My name is Muchina Malomba and I'm a presenter at Kiss FM. I host the Maloko show from 7 p.m. till midnight, Wacho Usiku Sako, and then the hottest 30 hits of the week on the Hot 30 on Saturday from 10 a.m. till 1. And this is Get to Know Your Presenter.
Hi, my name is Dixie and Jerome, and this is me, Get to Know Your Presenter. And I'm here with
Muchina Malomba.
So, Muchina,
yes.
The first question I have for you is, what is your background, like your siblings? What is your, we want to get to know you from your root, from your core.
So, I'm a village boy. I come from Bungoma. I've been raised in Bungoma my whole life. My siblings, I just have one, a kid brother, me the firstborn.
When the firstborn?
Me become a deputy parent.
Shule ulienda gani mwanangu?
Shule nilienda the Bungoma High School. Wewe kilini rama huko, acha tu makabeji nini. But it was such a good experience to me. Yeah.
That's amazing. In your family you are 2, 3, 4?
No, we were just two. Me and my kid brother.
Okay. So will you say that what you're doing right now is in line with what you studied in uni?
Yeah, I did radio in school. I did radio production in school, and I've always wanted to be in media ever since. I remember when I was young, I used to stand in front of classes, nikisoma news, nini. So I've always been interested things to do with media. So yeah, I got into radio, I think sort of by mistake.
So what are the jobs you started before joining Radio Africa?
My first sort of before Radio Africa.
Yeah, before Radio Africa.
Nilikuwa customer service. Unajua ile kupiga simu kusema sijui nini yako imeharibika. Yo, it was crazy. You need to have patience, by the way. Being a customer service agent, you need a lot of patience. Watu wanakutusi thank you sir. We are sorry sir. It's crazy.
Okay, so did the experience shape you nicely before you came to Radio Africa, or? Yeah,
I mean, I've had a lot of experience, even in other radio stations and other media houses. Not necessarily as a job, because this was my first time being employed at Radio Africa. But I've always just done. Unajua unasema kuja ufanye kazi for experience.
True.
So I've had that. I've had a couple of that, honestly. In nimetembea. Kila mahali. Tamaki was crazy for me.
So you're working in a very big brand, and how do you feel working at Kiss FM, and how do you keep yourself lively, outgoing every day?
It feels great. First of all, I think when I first came, I was a bit intimidated because you walk in and you see all these great radio presenters that you have always looked up to, so it was a bit intimidating for me. But I think after some time you sort of feel like you belong here. There's that sort of, not in a cocky way, but you feel like I think I'm worthy and I'm deserving to be here. So it's such a surreal experience for me. It's just that sometimes you have those days in here you just don't feel like, mambo things. What mambo mengi, right? But you still have to come and put on a show and So that is one of the downside of the job that I do, because you always need to put on a show.
Okay. So did you ever experience imposter syndrome, like you felt as if you don't belong here?
Yeah, okay, yes, I think at first I did, honestly, because I mean, if you want to do radio, especially if you're in school, you always want to come to the biggest sort of radio station. This is one of the biggest media houses in Kenya. And I think coming here and just seeing the people that you have always been inspired with, you feel like, do I really belong here? But after some time it goes away because everybody is really nice and welcoming. It was very easy for me to just sort of kuingiana na watu. So yeah.
Okay, so through that experience, what were your highs and lows, the best times? This is a key moment.
Yo, just the fact that I'm at Kiss. I remember listening to Kiss when I was still in school, and just the fact that I'm here, that's a highlight for me every day. And it honestly, I get reminded how grateful I am. Sometimes just walking in the studio and seeing, oh man, even me just saying, oh, I'm Muchina Malomba, I'm like, yo, it's Kiss. Like I get reminded by that. I'm so grateful about that every single day.
So once you overcame, from your point, from how you're explaining it, once you overcame that imposter syndrome and started to fit in, how did it feel knowing that you were sitting in the shoes of the greats like Caroline Mutoko, you know, like people who have been there and have done that?
It feels really good. It feels, I am honestly honored that I get to actually experience and just getting through being at Kiss FM. This is one of the biggest stations in the country. I feel really honored. I feel blessed. I'm very grateful that I'm here, and just being able to be around people that have already done this for such a long time and getting to learn from them, man, it's just a real experience.
So do you believe you'll be greater, or do you believe that your show will grow?
It's Muchina Malomba. What are you saying, bruh? What are you saying? It's either I be great or I be great. There's nothing else, you know.
True.
Not in a cocky way though. Like honestly, I have come to a point where I sort of like really believe in myself, and I'm open to learn more. But I also have that sort of confidence in myself that I'm able to do a good job, you know.
So as a listener, from my perspective, what do you think is one thing I can take from you? Like when listening to your show, what is one thing I can draw out from you?
Come and enjoy yourself. Honestly speaking, like, because I say Kenya, Zakayo, Manze, yo, every single day there's something going on. So like people are going through so much, and I think for me at my show, I just want to make you feel happy. I don't want you to think I personally don't watch news. I don't know what is going on and what is happening and all that, because I just want to concentrate. I just want to concentrate on vijana barubaru wametongo magani. I just feeling good, because sometimes when you watch news all the time, it's just mtu amekufa huku. There's always bad news, right? And when you just tune into my show, I just want to give you good vibes. I want you to feel different. I want you to feel like, man, it's a Monday, but I want you to feel like it's a Friday evening. Always.
So the vibes should always be on top.
On top, all the time.
So now you know Chito created this show.
Yes.
When he started.
Yes.
And so coming out, Chito left it and he's now at the Breakfast Show. But what do you think makes the Maloko show unique? Why do you choose? Why do you love doing this show?
First of all, I think I'm really into Kenyan music, and I feel like sometimes I feel disappointed that not so many people are into our own music, because I feel other countries like TZ, UG, they support each other and we don't. And I think we're just starting to sort of like support our own artists. And I really love Kenyan music. I really love, there's so many talented artists out there that we don't even really, not so many people really know of. And I just think, what was the question again?
What makes the show more unique? What do you like about it? What makes it outstanding?
I think
from all the shows.
I think it's that aspect of me sort of introducing artists that you probably never even heard of. And you're like, hey, who's that? But also, as I said earlier, I always want to make you feel good, right? So for me, my personality, I'm a really joyful person. It doesn't matter nini nimepitia. I really just want to always sort of share that joy with anyone that is listening to me. So you're always gonna smile at some point, right? Let's talk about when we are single and we're looking at Ramba na ilinyo na kuja, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. I'm getting what you're saying. So in that show, that the segments that you do, Maloko Big on Socials, Maloko Matri, which one do you like specifically? Or which one do you love introducing the most? Is it the top 30? Is it? Tell me.
I love the countdown.
The countdown.
Because there's always that anticipation, like what is coming up, Nini Tapwa #1, and people call in. Also, that's my favorite part. Like when people call in, they're like, hey, I feel like this is gonna be a #1. Or if I talk to someone who amepiga simu and he tells me about venye anakula maragwe leo hana nyama. It feels really good, to be honest. Sometimes I might not be in my best mood, but I receive those calls and I'm like, this is so good. But I love the countdown. The countdown is amazing. So
apart from now the workstation, you do TikTok. Yes, you do TikTok now. So how is your life in the TikTok space as a social media?
Okay, can I be honest with you? When I started doing TikTok, honestly, I was doing it for fun. I was just doing it because, wacha tu nifanye pia hii challenge. Yani tu kubamba watu. I didn't know it was going to be a thing that people actually like sort of recognize me kidogo. I saw you on TikTok. I didn't
so you do it for fun?
Yeah, I just do it for fun. Like I was just doing it like, for fun. But I realized, hey, what is really going on? Because like I put up like a video and I get 1,000 views, and I'm like, yo,
Who are this 1,000?
what's going? Like mimi nakula tu githeri, kwa mkebe yangu nyumbani. Like what is so big about that? But that's the most interesting part also, because I feel like I sort of get to also interact with the audience, people who listen to me. Some people think they've never seen me, so they think I am such an old man. So they see me and they're like, you're this young. So it's really nice to get to interact with the people who listen to my local.
So apart from TikTok, what do you do in your free time? Ukiboeka tu.
I love
Apart from
traveling.
nayo githeri, umependa hiyo githeri by the way.
Marago, chapati marago. That's my favorite meal. So I love traveling. Traveling is one thing that really just sort of like sets my soul on fire. I whenever I get time nowadays, it's just cause I don't know if nakuwa mzee, but I always love just going for adventure, and sometimes just doing it alone also, getting to discover more about myself. So traveling is one thing I really love to do.
So in traveling, what's the best country ushapitia? Pali ushaipenda ukasema, hapa ni Zanzibar. Hapa ni
ushasema sasa. We mwanangu. I love Zanzibar. Zanzibar was really amazing. But I've also been to Rwanda, it was really chilled vibes. But kama unataka wewe ni mtu wa sherehe. Yani pale Tanzania mwanangu. It's so amazing. Yeah, I think I'll always Tanzania really holds a special place in my heart. So yeah, definitely TZ is such a beautiful place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So as you're traveling, and if you come back one day and your boss is like, Muchina, today you have the opportunity to pick a show. Where una host? Chagua gani, breakfast, mid-morning, drive. Take us.
Honestly, I think, okay, I don't know. I'll probably still do, I'll choose night, because I've always wanted to do a night show ever since, honestly. Mimi ni mtu wa usiku. But if nikiambiwa, you have to choose something else apart from that, I think mid-morning. Mid-morning is easy. It's a beautiful show, and you're coming out of, morning show, mambo ya rush hour na nini, so it's like an easy time.
So unatoroka pale breakfast
and
the drive.
Mid-morning is really interesting, to be honest. I think I love it. Like, watu kina kwa box wameshapelekana watu kazini, so here you are, you're just vibing. Because me, honestly, as I said, me I don't listen to Sujui news. Me I don't want to talk about how many people have died and Sujui what is going on. No, I want just an easy good time.
True. Yeah. So talking about TikTok and how you don't like a lot of matters with news, will you ever dream of joining TV?
I've done TV before, actually. Yeah. I was at Ebru TV when I started out. Yes, I was a news reporter, and that is why I came to radio. Because when I did TV, I used to tunaenda kwa news, sijui nini imefanyika, sisi ndo tunakimbia tear gas. I was like, this is not my life, brah. Like, this is not, and then there's no time for yourself. TV, it's 24/7. Like, you're literally at work almost all the time. And I didn't like the fact that it's always bad news. Like, I was just consumed with so much negativity around me. I was like, this is not like my cup of tea. So I decided, you know what, I was still choosing whether to do like radio or TV. And I was like, this is the reason now why I really, started hustling now for radio. Yeah.
So apart from now TV, you're in the limelight completely. So have you ever been just walking, ukaongea hivi mtu akasema, is that Muchina? Have you ever been recognized by your
I hate that all the time, because every single time that happens, niko home, nimevaa slippers, nimeenda kununua githeri, and then I'm like, where ni Muchina? I'm like, where, ulinjulia wapi wewe? But to be honest, people never really recognize me until they sort of hear my voice sometimes.
So
when I say my name. Yeah, because my first name is Brian.
Yeah.
So when I just say, oh, Brian, they're like, oh, Brian. But when I say Muchina, they're like, Muchina, happy. Yeah, they're sort of interested, which I like, because radio is not visual, not unless now you check on our social media. So some people actually really don't know who I am.
So unakuwa umepotea tu pale.
Which I like, yeah. That's like niko chini ya maji kabisa.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the future for the Maloko show? What do you think is yet to be unveiled?
I would really love to host one of the biggest artists in Africa and just internationally. I want to just set the bar so high that when I leave Maloko, I'm like, you know what, I've done everything that I could do for that show. I want to be able to promote Kenyan music as much as I can. I want to bring on artists that people have not heard before and they're so good, introduce them to the audience. So I would love that.
Oh, that's amazing. So which was your favorite interview? Nani ashai kuja ukasema this interview I really loved it.
Honestly,
which
I
artist?
feel all of the artists that I sort of interview, I usually have a very good rapport with them. But just out of my head, Fee was amazing.
Fee.
Karun was really good. There's a band called Yozowo Band. It was really, really amazing. So even Kinoti, Ethan was honestly all of them, because I like that sort of interaction with artists and getting to know them more. But just in the top of my head, I'll say Fee was just good vibes.
It was amazing.
It was really good vibes.
So before I go into the final question,
Yes.
or the final conversation, in short, what made you choose the name Muchina Malomba? You said your name is Brian. Mbona ungeenda useme ni Brian?
Wait, I'm talking about Yobra. It just doesn't look very serious, to be honest. But brand is not unique. For me, I feel like I love being unique. And Muchina Malomba, both by like my parents' name. Muchina is my father's name. Malomba is from my mother's side. So I was like, let me just choose. And then I don't know if you've realized, but anybody in radio has a very unique name.
Very true.
Right?
Very true.
Naina Kageni.
Shit on
Malomba. Like you know what I mean? So it's like, if I ever want to get to radio and something unique also for myself, there's no I'll be like, oh, I am Brian on Kiss FM. No way. So I decided no. Let me just choose Muchina. So.
Okay. So when you were called to join Kiss, what was the how did you feel? What was the process? What was going through your mind at that time?
Do you have time? Do you have time? Because okay, I'd got into. I'll say this very shortly. So I'd hustled for radio for 6 years. I'd given up. I was tired of radio. I was like, you know what, God, I'm done with it. I don't want to do radio anymore. Because I'd even gone to Tanzania for 6 months looking for a job. Gone to Kisumu for some time looking for a job. And all I was getting was experience. And I was just tired. Sikuwa napata job. So I was working as a customer service agent. I wanted to quit that. I go to Namibia. That was my initial plan. I go to Namibia. I love Namibia. I go to Namibia. I figure out my life. I just stay for like 2 months or 1 month. I figure out what the hell I'm going to do with my life, right? And then somebody told me Radio Africa is looking for presenters. I was like, God, I am not going to do that. You know, because I already hustled for radio for many years. And I feel like, Radio Africa, they already have their own people, right? So my friend told me, you have nothing to lose. You just apply. Applied. I did not honestly care. And I did not, my head was, I really want to go to Namibia. I did not really care about that. They called me, they're like, hey, Muchina, we are you not coming for the interview? This was like on Wednesday. I asked the lady who had called me, what do you mean for an interview? Because I really don't remember if you had called me before. They say, no, we had called you on Monday. You need to come for an interview. I didn't understand. I was like, no, you didn't call me. And then the lady said, okay, let me get back to you. So I'm wondering, they did call me, what is going on? So they called me back. The lady said, oh, I'm sorry, I feel like utachelewa and this is not going to happen. So maybe another time, we still have your CV. I'm like, what? First of all, God, stop playing with me. I did not want even this gig. Now they're calling me, I have an opportunity to present myself. And then now, because of maybe a mistake not on my side, I can't present myself. What the hell, that right? Makes sense, yes, I was very frustrated about it. I just remember crying. I was like, God, me, maisha nipiga chenga bwana. And then my friend called me and said, you know what? Like, I told my friend the situation. I can go to the offices. You go, just present yourself and see you do what you have to do in your power. So I came to the office. I said, you had called me, but there was some sort of misunderstanding. And I was told, oh, yeah, okay. I think the invigilator, the interviewers are still there. You can go and go in. So when I went in, I was like, let me just do it. You know, at the end of it all, nipate. I was so myself. I remember saying, honestly, my plan is going to Namibia. I want to go and just sort of figure out my life. I really don't care. I appreciate that I was called. I've been looking for a job for so long, a radio job for 6 years. I have a 6-year experience and no job. Right? So it's fine. If I'm being picked, okay. If I'm not being picked, I appreciate. And I'm grateful I was called. I was very easy. Next day, after a week, they called me again for a second interview. I was like, what is going on? The third interview, they called me again. I'm like, all right, hold up. God, we were going to Namibia. What is going on? And then, just coming here and meeting Kina Maina Kageni and seeing that time Shafi where he was here and saying welcome home and all that. I was like, what is really happening. So the fourth time I was called, I was like, hey, we have an offer letter for you if you're and it was on 1st of April. So imagine they're calling you on 1st of April. 1st of April nakwanga, siku ya Fool's Day. I tell the HR, hey, madam, I am not, siko na your capacity a joke sai. I don't know who you are. Don't play tricks on me. She says, she laughs and she says, Muchina, I'm serious. I'm the HR, you can come for. I was like, what? Of all the days of my life, I remember just sitting and just crying and like, man. Me, I'm a man who's very in touch with his emotions, by the way. Me, nitalia bwana, nacho analia, napata kazi nalia. So I remember just being cold and I felt, man, out of all that struggle I've had, you know, went to TZ for 6 months hustling, nothing. I was here, going to almost all the radio stations in Nairobi, gotten experience, nothing. And then when I've honestly given up and I really don't care whether I get this job or not, this opportunity comes. And not just in any radio station, at Radio Africa. It was a big platform for me, right? I didn't even know I was going to come to Kiss. Because at that time we were like five guys.
We wouldn't expect Jambo even.
I was okay at Agukena. I told them, me, I'm okay. I will learn that Kikuyu. What are you saying? Me, I'm okay anywhere. So I was definitely okay with anywhere, actually. I'm blessed. And then I just ended up at Kiss and I was like, oh wow, amazing, right? So yeah, that's how I ended up here. And every single day I remind myself of how grateful I am, honestly.
That's actually a very amazing story.
Yeah, it better be. Yeah, I keep on telling you every single time. Meaning say, my friends, I have hustled.
Yeah, the grind has come for it.
It definitely has. Yeah, I think so, sometimes even when, let's say, I talk to people who want to do like media and they sort of just expect for it to fall in your lap. Some it can, honestly, it can. You can just finish school and get a job, that's fine. But you really have to put in the grind, right? And just that experience is so important.
So anyway, I think I've exhausted all my questions.
Yeah.
And all the questions I think the listeners will also want to listen to. But any burning issue umekuwa tukitaka kusema kwa na hujapata hiyo platform, opportunity ya kuja. Any burning
burning issue, but I'm a big believer of dreams. I'm a big believer of things happening for you if you really want it, and not really a burning, but just a reminder. I keep on saying to myself, it's a reminder. Everything always works out for me. That's what I tell myself. So whatever you do, as long as you know what you want in life, you know it in your head. Unajua, write it down. You know what you want. It's gonna happen. If you really want it, it doesn't matter kama uko chini ya kitanda itakupata.
So you have to just go for it.
Yeah, you just have to go for it.
So hata dream yangu itakuwa.
Wait. You know, it's great talking to each other here. What is wrong with you, bro?
That's a good time. Thank you, Muchina.
Thank you, Mr. Jax.